Live from Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Aaron.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm GMLA. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Also available on Apple TV and Roku via the EverTalk app.
It's hashtag Friday Feels. Talk about dating, love, and relationship. We're actually going to talk about dealing with conflict.
Oh, that never happens. No conflict.
Well, no more conflict in our lives, for sure. But we come together every day to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, align with universal law, and have lots of great guests here right in La La Land.
Yes, I love it.
Welcome back to La La Land. Rob, we missed
right?
you
Thanks,
yesterday.
I missed you guys. I saw the video, though, of Tanya Memi. Are you kidding me right now?
Tanya, we love you.
Oh, my
You
gosh.
rock.
Yesterday's show, it was hashtag National Sour Candy Day, and Tanya accepted the challenge. Let me tell you, I've never seen anything like that on live TV. So if you didn't see it, definitely check out our IGTV stories on Good Morning La La
Yeah,
Land.
I'm
It was
convinced that
hilarious.
she could drink sour candy, drink anybody under the table. It's
Absolutely.
unbelievable.
So she took this big long straw shot, took as much in her mouth, and literally started choking
Yeah, she's like gagging on it.
all out.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Well, we appreciated you, Tanya, being here to fill in for Rob Mack, who was on Access yesterday,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
About
And
dating.
About dating.
So tell
and
us a little bit
ghosting.
about it.
We mostly talked. It was this lovely woman, and she was basically struggling with a guy that she had met that was giving her a ton of like mixed signals, and so we're trying to help her decipher what was going on there.
Oh.
Yeah, the guy was basically emotionally unavailable. You know, so,
Yeah.
you know, but he was
So-
paying for stuff, so it was confusing.
Yes, that's confusing,
yeah, it was
right?
fun.
He
Yeah.
must like me because he's taking me on dates.
Exactly. He's paying for
sending
my
mixed messages.
Exactly. He's paying for my rent. He's co-signing for my apartment.
Oh, right.
It was the whole thing.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
yeah, it was interesting.
Wow.
Well, we are so excited to welcome our very special guest on this hashtag Friday Feels. Good morning, everyone, back in the studio. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have got Matt Wright in the house, all the way here from Outback Wrangler. Good morning.
Morning, how are we?
We're better now that you are here. Matt, we want to know, how does an animal wrangler like you start his day? What's your morning routine?
How do I start the day? Well, it have to be a coffee, go for a walk around, check the crocodiles, make sure everyone's happy down in the pens, and then maybe jump on the airboat and have a look across the wetlands. But I think win the morning, win the day.
Awesome. Love that expression.
I just wrangle with some alligators.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know what you do.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yeah, in my head, I wake up. I feel like he wakes up. He has a checklist of like, today is an alligator, some poisonous snake, and which one am I going to tackle first?
Amazing. By the way, I met him and both the next guest, Monique, on Access Live.
Nice.
How about that? Yeah.
Hashtag community powered here,
I
Rob.
know. Pretty cool. That's right.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. Monique, welcome to our show. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Cocktails and confessions.
Yes.
Good Friday conversation.
Yes, we're talking dating, love, and relationships with you later in the show. But first, what's your morning routine? How do you start your day?
Well, my first cocktail of the morning is coffee. That's a must. And then, of course, I meditate, I journal, and then I'm ready to face the world and not go off on anyone.
So make sure she has her cocktail first, I think is what she said.
That's right. We certainly appreciate people like you in traffic, right?
Oh, exactly. If I don't have coffee, it can be a really dangerous situation, but coffee makes everything good.
Fantastic.
Now we know the way to her heart. So, gentlemen, if you're out there looking for love, make sure she has a good coffee. Okay?
It's true.
It's a cheap date. Coffee.
Well, straight out of X on the beach, and CBS's Survivor Matt Reed is in the house. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning, how you doing?
We're so grateful to have you here with us. So tell us, how do you start your day? What's your morning routine?
Actually wake up, scroll through Instagram a little bit, make the bed, and then go to the gym.
Awesome. Very simple.
Yeah, very
Straightforward.
easy day.
Yeah, he's got a hashtag Stay Loco.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
stay loco.
So all over your Insta, you've got loco and adventure. But what do you define as loco? What does that mean to you?
Loco is like, it's the Spanish word for crazy, basically. Everyone has their own crazy, so just like be your crazy.
Yeah. Live and La Vida Loca. You remember
Yeah.
Ricky Martin?
Yeah.
There you go. I know. How can you forget?
Well, if you're living with an ex on the beach, that is what.
Your whole
Living with
vida
an
is
ex,
loco.
period, is living loco.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much all for being with us today. We're looking forward to continuing the conversation later in the show.
What's your crazy, Rob?
Am I crazy?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Come on, we all have our crazy. What's your crazy?
Like, what does that mean, though?
Like if your worst side, your dark side. What's the
Oh, my dark side? Great question. I'd say that mostly I just enjoy being alone so much. That's my dark side, is like, I don't have a problem with anybody. Like, I love people, but, you know, just in short, sweet, small doses. Not like the Tanya Memi sour candy dose. That's too much. Like, It's a short dose. Yeah, I said.
What's your darkness? What's your low
my
carb?
darkness? I certainly think it's that I put the power outside of myself without asking their permission to do that. And so I tend to like create resentment in my relationships because I give it away.
Do you feel challenged to like express what you're feeling in the moment, and so you'll sort of hold on to it and bottle it? And
Oh,
then...
completely. I bottle that right up.
Yeah.
I'm very passive aggressive.
It's a Gemini in you, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right.
You fit in LA.
I don't even know. I think I have so many different loco aspects of me. I don't even know what it would be.
Yeah.
Honestly.
What would be one?
One would be like I'm like the same as you. Sometimes I
Yeah.
get completely introverted and I don't want to see anybody do
Yeah.
anything. And then I have the flip side where I'll get so busy and
Yeah.
so social and have so much going on that it's kind of a little extreme.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my crazy was I was like a lot like Jeslyn. I would just bottle it up. I wouldn't say anything. And then, of course, I played sports, so I'd always then have this moment where like the devil took over and I'm suddenly angry and ready to kill someone. It was like, I made me a great football player, actually.
That's good.
Yeah.
But your crazy made you an expert, which is why, again, you were on Access yesterday. Our executive
Right.
producer has a little footage
Oh, boy.
of you on the show. If we can roll through that right now. Rob, I'd love for you to tell us, like, what is your experience on that show really like?
Well, you know what I'm most impressed by is how much energy the hosts have. Like Kit and Scott are just so incredibly energetic, like first thing in the morning, and it's authentic and it's genuine and they keep it moving. It's so much fun. What's also interesting, I think, is how quickly they move the set around. I mean, just on a dime, as soon as that segment ends, the entire set is moving. Couches, chairs,
There's
everything.
a lot of hands on deck.
There's a lot of hands on
Wow.
deck. Yeah, exactly. So I have so much fun. You know, it's my second favorite show.
I love that.
So, yeah,
So
yeah.
First favorite's Good Morning La La Land, right?
That's the point.
That's
exactly.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well-
I'm gonna have to watch that to find out what do you do with someone's paying your bills, paying all, and then they're sending you mixed messages.
Yeah.
How do you answer that?
I'd say most people just ride with it.
Yeah,
Until it runs out.
I receive whatever, and I'll, you know, the universe is abundant.
Yeah, just say thank you very much. That's all you've got to do
Yeah.
with that.
Right. And move on.
Not that hard.
Yeah, I'd say.
We shouldn't be in conflict, which is actually what we're going to talk about today,
So
right?
what is this about? Yeah.
Okay, so Friday is all about Friday feeling, dating, love, and relationships. We talk about all kinds of things. We know that all of life is a relationship. It's how we relate, right? But of course, coming into, you know, intimate relationship and things like that, I'm talking about different ways of not having conflict.
Yeah.
And there's about 6 ways here, according to this article, which is separating the person from the problem, which is part of the divine work that we do. Always, we see everybody for the perfection and see whatever they're dealing, their loco-ness is not who they really are. It's
Yeah.
just what they're experiencing.
It's such a good point. I mean, it's easy to sort of project on the person and say, you are X or Y or
You're
Z.
a
like,
bad
you suck.
person.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Instead of just focusing on the behavior that you'd like to see different or better.
In that, I think it's really important when you're having those conversations to be soft on the person and realizing that whatever the conflict is, it's not the person's fault. It's the conflict in and of itself, right? It's,
Totally.
You can hard
Yes,
on the issue
yes.
and soft on the
It's
person.
very
Love that.
true. I
Beautiful.
remember being in a terrible relationship with an addict and thinking, this might work for somebody.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with what he's doing, just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, that's
right?
a great.
It's interesting. You
great
have to
thing
make them
remember.
wrong,
Exactly.
right? Second one is using I instead of you, meaning like bringing it back to what you're dealing with, what's going on, instead of you need to do whatever.
Yeah.
You've got issues, you whatever.
Instead of saying, you suck, I feel as though you suck. No, that's not it either. That's not it either.
I'm experiencing your sucking.
Yeah, exactly.
Rob, you're a master, though, of kind of rephrasing and
Yeah.
wrapping things in warmth, as you put it. So
Yeah.
how would you say that?
So one of my.
Yeah, why do you tell us when they suck? Yeah.
One of my that's a great question. So I'd say a number of things. One is never to focus on the past at all if possible. Always to focus on the present or the future. Never to focus on the undesirable behavior that you want to get rid of. Focus on the desirable behavior that you want to feed or fuel. And so to that extent, I also have like a phrase that I use, which is always, I love you very much and that's, they know something's coming, but usually it's, and there's this incredible opportunity for us to get along in ways that we never have before. And I want to explore that, and I want to know how I can support each of us in doing that. So it's really about focusing on the opportunity and talking in a way that's sort of more optimistic and more inspiring.
We call it enrolling conversations, enrolling the
Enrolling.
possibility of whatever,
Yes.
instead of looking at the problem, enrolling in what's possible.
Love that. Get
Yeah,
them bought in.
Totally. So next one is asking open-ended questions. I think it's brilliant.
Yes.
Be like, please tell me, why were you sleeping with another woman? I'm curious to know what was going on. Or tell me about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually not. I don't want to know.
Not so much, huh?
Yeah.
What movie was that? Love Actually, where they have the whole entire movie was pretty much about that. But it's a good
really?
point. to ask open-ended questions instead of closed-ended questions, which are like yes or no questions, like black or white questions.
Totally. And the next one, of course, is using active listening. So instead of being like, okay, I'm going to decide whatever I think of, it's like wherever you're feeling like you're still disconnected, inquire more, just listening of what's there.
And the point is, and most people think that they're listening, but they're just waiting to speak again.
Yeah.
So it's like actually listening with a quiet mind is huge. There are a couple of tips I feel like they left off that list.
For sure.
Like the most important one I think by far is to choose being at peace over being right. Just that one alone.
Just if you just never made anyone wrong. That's pretty much all you need to know in a relationship.
Yeah, because as long as you're focused on being right, even you can try to follow these tips, but it's not gonna work.
Totally. So next one is differentiating interest from positions.
What's that mean?
I have no idea. I think it's really just like getting perspective.
Yeah.
I think trying to understand someone's perspective is always key to enlightenment and not having conflict. And
Or
lastly,
just respecting that they have a different perspective
totally.
in general. You might not ever understand it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Just respect it.
Yes, I love
I
that
just
you
say
say that.
fascinating.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
That's fascinating.
That's fantastic. They use that a lot in science. They say, "Oh, the results were interesting." That always means
Yeah.
that. But the guest that you guys had on yesterday, Christine Carlson. Of course, Richard Carlson, who passed. That was his wife. And
Don't sweat the small stuff.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Huge author. And one of the things he would talk about all the time, Jez, which you just highlighted, is the psychology of separate realities. Like, if you are in somebody else's shoes and you had their mind and you had their past experiences, you would be thinking and speaking and acting exactly the way they are right now.
Totally. So fascinating. And lastly, it's coming up with options for mutual benefit, like we said, right?
It's so point. Yeah. It's so easy to forget you have to appeal to other people's self-interest in order to get them enrolled or get them bought in.
Yeah.
If you just speak from what you want, of course they're not going to want what you want.
And maybe the universe wants something different for you, like,
being alone, being single. Ooh, I love being single.
The single lifestyle in Los Angeles is fascinating.
Yeah, you get to do what you want when you want. Unbelievable. People complain about it.
Like hop from event to event. We have some fun footage of last night's occasions over the. Well, we've got something on the commercial. Fantastic. You're not going to want to miss it.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It is hashtag National Sour Candy Day. We want to thank our special friends from Pucker Powder. For those of you watching who haven't met Tanya Mimi, she is an Emmy-nominated host.
Oh my God, you're so
Southwest House, Homer Colton family. She's a DIY expert and she's always up for a challenge. So why not give her this sour? Here we go, Tanya.
Oh, come on. Shut up.
Woo! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
She's up for it. Coffee?
No, are you okay?
Oh, too much sour candy.
God, I'm so sorry.
Well, that just happened.
Oh, Tanya. How do we love Tanya?
Honestly, I love that woman.
Yes.
That is our own Watch What Happens Live kind of moment.
Right?
She's willing to bleed and sweat and cry and gag
You just
for her job.
laugh and then have deep conversations. And it's just she's just a dynamic, beautiful woman,
That's how you get Emmy nominated.
That's right.
Yeah.
So much fun. Special thanks to Pucker Powder for supporting our National Sour Candy Day.
Isn't it National Ice Cream Day today?
It's next week.
Next week.
You're getting excited a little soon.
I'm thinking, oh no, I have another excuse for that. Seriously. Well, I think we have many guests in the house that we want to talk to about how they have created lives that they love. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. I'm GMLA, the co-founder and host of EverTalk TV, and I am thrilled to introduce you to America's first live video streaming Talk Show Network.
I'm so excited to be here on the couch with all you amazing people.
Yeah.
I'm just in complete awe. Thank you.
Happy to be here. And for those who don't know what goes on, this is a big old, there's a lot going on here. You do this every day.
Live.
God bless you guys. I mean, people, there's a lot going on.
Thank you for having me. This is an awesome studio.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I feel that, actually. I can feel that.
How exciting Motivation Monday. And the guests this morning have been incredible.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you.
And we have Rachel Boston, who is in The Last Bridesmaid on Hallmark. It actually is dropping tomorrow, the 22nd, right?
It is. Tomorrow night's our premiere.
Woo!
Congratulations. I am so excited to welcome Jason and Ashley Waller to the show. Congratulations on the new beginnings. We're so excited for the premiere on MTV tonight.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it. Thank you.
The book is actually being shipped out today. It published this week.
What? Congratulations.
You guys are
Super
the
cool.
first show that I've actually done talking about the book.
I think this is my first time my book's been up on TV. This is awesome.
Our friends at Universal Pictures have a special delivery for us this morning from a tethered himself.
Ooh.
Have you seen the film Us by Academy Award
my
winner
gosh.
Jordan Peele?
You know, I'm sitting here next to you guys, and it's just like, this is a powerful moment for me. Like, you know, I'm humbled by it, because it's like I'm sharing this movie with you guys, and you know, it's moving for me.
What are you most grateful for today?
I am so grateful to be here and to have the opportunity to be with all these wonderful, badass boss babes and with all of you. And it's just a wonderful opportunity to share the positive messages out in the world, because I think the world really needs it right now.
What we have done and thanking me for the contribution we're making to their lives.
Oh,
And I thought,
nice. That's
this
great.
is what my purpose is. This is why I was born. Now,
Show the camera.
up to you to choose the winner. Is it Annie? Is it Haley?
That's why I like this show. You know, years ago I did the Dinah Show, which is Dinah Shore, and it was a daytime show. And it was kind of like this. It was just like very up, and it was all positive stuff. They didn't bring negative stuff to the audience. And that's what I feel with this show. It's very relaxed. You know, it's very professional, but it's quite a bit of fun.
You can binge watch.
And binge watch.
You can binge watch.
And you can binge watch.
Binge watch, or you can binge watch.
Please binge watch.
You can binge watch.
And binge them on EverTalk TV. Thanks for coming. Bye.
First TV experience. I'm so happy I did it with you.
Entertainment that will inspire, uplift, and empower you. Anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV, your home for talk.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. And we have had so many amazing guests on the show that love their lives. That we have never had somebody like this on the show. Matt Wright is the star of Monster Croc Wrangler. What? You like go and you wrestle down these crocs?
Yeah, so we've got a big population of crocodiles in Australia, and my job is pretty much to go and catch any of the big crocs that are causing a problem. They want to eat people, they're eating livestock, they're causing danger to tourists coming through. So we go in there and we catch them, we put them into a different area, or we take them out of that where they're going to.
I've got to ask though, what was the first croc you ever wrangled, and when did you decide, yes, this is what I'm going to do? Yeah.
This looks like a career.
This looks like a career. Right, let's go for this.
It didn't start with crocodiles. It's just started with wildlife in general. Like I was, as far back as I can remember, I was catching deadly snakes. I brought snakes home to Mum, and they got loose in the house. Mum hated me for it.
Oh my gosh.
But you know, I had such a connection with wildlife, and I loved it. And so it just grew and grew, and then I got a job catching crocs when I went up to the northern part of Australia.
Wow, but you're on like episode 400 and something, right? So like you've got to have some accidents along the way.
We've had quite a few close calls. I broke my ankle last year. I thought I snapped my neck a few years ago. Yeah, we do have some close calls. I've never been actually chewed or bitten, luckily.
Wow.
Yeah, you haven't been eaten yet. It's a good thing.
Yes, yeah.
Successful day.
Yeah. Both legs are real, both arms are real. Yeah.
Where do you think you get this like sense of adventure and zest for life? I mean, you're also like chopper pilot, jumping out of planes. Like, where did you get this?
Loved adventure, loved everything about it, and just living life as a kid. And it just grew and grew and grew, and just hated wasting time. And if I was wasting time, I was getting bored, and it was always the next adventure or try something different. And
So now you're in Hollywood. This is a big, whole other adventure.
Yeah,
this
true.
is crazy
this
town.
is this is one hell of an adventure.
So how did this turn into a TV show? Tell us a little bit about that journey, because it's interesting, I think.
Well, everything I was doing up north, my family, my friends, they didn't have any idea of what I was up to. And we were flying choppers and we're catching these sort of 1,000-kilo bulls, like a feral bull.
Those little guys.
Yeah. So, and we'd be roping them and we're sort of cleaning up the cattle stations just like you do ranches. And then we'd be doing that, and then I'd also be catching the crocs to move them out of areas where they're causing havoc. And so we had all this stuff going on, but no one knew what I was doing down home. So I decided to pick up a camera, filmed it, and I still cringe looking back at the first shows. It was like, "G'day guys, Matt Wright here."
Right? Everyone sees a produced thing. They didn't see what it took, everything to get there. And now you're Grace Ellen and all kinds of things, right? So tell us a little bit about all the partnerships you're up to.
Well, we come over here probably 3 times a year to promote everything that we're doing back in Australia. We're in 160 countries, I think, now, with National Geographic, and it's going really well. Season 4, and I think when we get back, we'll be filming season 5.
So you say any animal, anytime, anywhere. What has been like the hardest animal to wrangle and relocate?
I think I was in Borneo catching elephants, the smaller elephants over there.
Oh, they're dangerous.
And
in Borneo catching elephants.
Yeah. So we're over there. I was actually helping the guys work out how to catch their crocs and manage the crocodile situation. They took me out to do the elephant side of things. And in this time, we had massive monsoons, big downpours. So getting out there, it was so slippery, and we're trying to catch these elephants and move them into like a safe haven, a fenced forestry area, because the palm oil plantation over there is just taken over the country. So we're sort of relocating the elephants. And
do you ever relocate them into your home? Because I feel like you might all of a sudden have a connection with one. You'd be like, oh, this baby elephant, I feel like it should be mine.
Oh, baby elephants are so cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
And they're lucky.
Don't worry, I'd love one of those.
But the moms are really dangerous. I went on safari in Africa, and actually out of all the animals, the mother elephants were really scary.
Yeah, well, they're protecting their young. Yeah, even driving, trying to drive around them. I was just in Africa a few weeks ago with my wife, and the mothers do protect their young.
So interesting. Fiercely. You're also a conservationist. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I've grown up with wildlife and conservation, and looking after wildlife, looking after the environment. We put so much emphasis on building the human race and everything, and we waste so much that we sort of forget about where we come from. The world's only one spot, and we're depleting that so quickly. We're killing everything so quickly, and everything's about progress and production. So I like to try and keep a balance in it, and getting back to the bush is sort of quite grounding.
Yeah.
Getting back to the bush.
Right?
I get grounded out there in the bush with the crocodiles. Very grounded and at peace. I'm meditating out there. Yeah. So do you think it's just crazy here? Like, do you come to LA and you're like, these people are whack? I mean, compared to the bush to here, like, what's that like?
Do you prefer the wildlife or the people in LA?
Yeah, it's the same thing. These animals around here.
Yeah, I'd definitely prefer the bush. It's peace of mind out there. It's quiet. There's no traffic. I can jump in the chopper. I can fly where I need to go.
Yeah.
It's freedom. And in big cities, and it doesn't matter if it's LA or Sydney or Melbourne, you sort of get a bit claustrophobic.
So Matt, what's next for you? What are you most excited about?
We've got a few things on our plate. We've got a few more shows that we're kicking off. Definitely Monster Croc Wrangler will be in season 5. I've got a I've got a little baby boy due in about 10 days, and
Oh,
I have to get.
congratulations!
Yes.
Get the name picked out. You don't have to share it.
Yeah, well, I want Tarzan, but my wife.
Of course you do. We'd expect nothing else.
That's hilarious.
Well, my wife wants Banjo, which is a beautiful Australian name, a poet called Banjo Patterson. So we're sort of naming him after that, and yeah, so really exciting. I've just got to get home and get the baby room ready. Get the snakes out of the house.
That's so amazing. Well, tell everybody where they can find and follow your amazing journey.
So Nat Geo Wild is coming to air, I think it's the 4th of August over here in America. So that's pretty exciting. They'll be kicking off then. And Instagram, just Matt Wright. So
love it.
That out.
With
Thank
W.
you so much.
Yes, W. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for having me.
Stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow. Good morning, La La Land.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it.
Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. I'm GMLA, the co-founder and host of EverTalk TV, and I am thrilled to introduce you to America's first live video streaming talk show network.
We all crave connection. I'm a big fan of videoing a podcast.
The impact that I'm having people on a podcast is I'm having more impact on those people than I ever did in news.
We want to be heard, but we also need to listen.
Podcasts. I understand they are red hot.
It's actually remarkable how scary to me podcasting is. Everybody should have a podcast.
I really wondered why. I mean, we've been doing this for 12 years. Nobody has done this in other arenas.
We have to change the conversation to happiness over financial success. It was like, we have to. We have to.
Honestly, it was meeting new people who had already heard about what we have done and thanking me for the contribution we're making to their lives.
Oh,
and I
nice.
thought, this is what my purpose is. This is why I was born.
Yeah.
I think this is my first time my book's been up on TV. This is awesome.
You can binge watch and binge watch.
You can binge watch.
And you can binge watch. Binge watch, or you can binge watch. Please binge watch.
You can binge watch and binge them on EverTalk TV. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Entertainment that will inspire, uplift, and empower you. Anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV, your home for talk.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land and this hashtag Friday Feels. I'm so excited to welcome Jay Starrett to the show. Obviously hot off X on the Beach.
Thank you.
And CBS's Survivor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where did this all start for you?
Well, it all started in the garage when I was practicing for Survivor. Because
Practicing?
Yeah, because you have to make fire out there, so sometimes they don't give you flint. So I just like cut down bamboo from this neighbor's house and then went in the garage and tried to make a bamboo fire saw. And then smoke started going, and then the neighbors were like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "I made fire!"
What about Survivor really drew you to that show? I mean, why did you want to go to the island?
It was just the challenge portion of it, and like just the experience of like pushing yourself to such an extreme that you've never like dealt with before. So like not having shelter or like food and stuff like that. Like
living in LA.
Yeah, we're all blessed here. So
How did you even get on the show? Like, how did it come?
I just sent in a video.
Really?
Yeah, I just sent in a video, and then they called me and they're like, "Hey man,
So what was
you're
the
nuts,
video?
Let's go."
It was like you pounding on your chest outside the
No,
garage?
it was like
or-
me skateboarding and then doing Ninja Warrior obstacles and then surfing and skimboarding and all kinds of different stuff and then just talking about my life.
Wow.
So your time on the island, I'm wondering though, what was the biggest struggle you had? What was the hardest thing to actually survive?
Being cold.
Oh,
Being cold
really?
is the worst thing ever. And one of my friends was a veteran and he's like, "Yo, what was the worst thing?" I was like, "Being cold." He's like, "You got it."
So, but you weren't cold on the beach.
Oh, you're cold.
You on X on the beach?
Oh, on X on the beach? No. they made sure to keep us hot there.
Oh, okay.
There was a lot of alcohol and no AC, so yeah, it was hot.
Are you really looking for love though? What brought you on that show?
I mean, it was the experience of it, and then also, yeah, why not look for love and like find something that someone that you can be with and go have fun and adventure with and live.
You're like, sure. I mean, I
Yeah.
can take it or leave it. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
What surprised you most about each of those shows, about Survivor and X on the Beach?
Survivor is completely real and like legit. You don't have food.
Yeah. Wow.
And then X on the Beach, everything.
Yeah. Everything.
Just
huh?
like all of like the drama that people bring in their lives. I'm like, whoa, this is a lot.
Wow. So clearly you liked Survivor. More?
No, I love them both.
Yeah. It's gotta be
They're both their own
politically-
like adventure.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
What do you think was the biggest thing you kind of learned though about yourself in participating in reality television?
Always be true to yourself and just know who you are and don't change for anybody, because once you start doing that, people will smell out the fakes.
Interesting.
You know?
That's interesting too, right? Because especially with TV and especially with reality TV, sometimes, a lot of times, there's this like huge invitation to be something different than you've been in the past, just so that you can continue to book work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to build a character. I just want to be me.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
yeah.
I'm just
So, you know, obviously our guest before, a big crocodile guy and adventurer, and you said in the break, like, I'd love to have his life.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what is that about you that wants, what would be your ideal life, like adventuring, and what would that look like for you?
basically just traveling the world and experiencing every like thing that I can, because I started rock climbing like a year and a half ago, and I've been going nonstop now. Surfing, and then trying out, if he wants to invite me to go on his show, I would love to. Like, let's go. That would be epic adventure. So I'm more than happy to do anything that just like pushes your limit to you, for you to understand like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be.
Wow.
Super cool. What are you most looking forward to personally and professionally?
Professionally, keeping my Stay Loco brand going and building it more, and then I just want to keep traveling.
Yeah,
I've been traveling like crazy.
So what is your loco?
My loco?
Other than that, we know you want some adrenaline pumping, but what else?
Well, Stay Loco actually means like everyone has their own crazy, like I told you before. So it's just basically be your crazy, be true to who you are,
what's your
and don't
crazy?
ever change for anybody. And my crazy is basically I just can't sit still. So I'm just like constantly going.
So
full
what's
of
next
energy.
for you then?
I think I'm either going to go to San Diego tonight or Red Rocks tomorrow to go rock climb for a little bit. I have two options.
Is that when you feel the most peace, is when you're out there?
It's when I'm pushing myself, yeah. When there's something that I felt uncomfortable doing. So like the comfort zone, to me, I don't like being in it. I like being in the uncomfortable, because that is like where the magic happens, basically.
Right? Isn't that fascinating?
It is
It's like,
fascinating.
It's
I never
it's
hear
not
anybody say
you,
that.
right? It's
No,
like it's
yeah.
a type. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
It'd take you, rub you off on all my clients. It's like, I would be out of a job, but it'd be great.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's my job. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's so
motivated.
rad. That's, I mean, have you
Yeah.
always been like that, even from a little bit?
I mean, my mother raised me that way, so she was always just like,
she was
be
like
you,
that.
and she was the one. That's why I even wear like this necklace. It just reminds me of home. Because she's Peruvian, so that's just what it is.
She has a very adventurous spirit.
Yeah. So that's why my brand's half English and half Spanish, because that's how I was raised.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
Love that.
Knowing what you know now, what would you have told your younger self? What advice would you give?
Don't stay in college so long. You can do it without. Go. As bad as that is, but yeah. That's probably what I would say. Just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Take the risk.
Yeah, take the risk of everything and just go with life.
Okay, let's do it. I'm motivated. I'm inspired.
You ready?
right.
We're gonna go to Australia.
Yeah, I'm not for that. That's not my jam. But I got my own inspiration.
Aaron's more lay on the beach, right?
I'm thinking like MTV, X on the Beach, those kind of vibes. But please tell everyone where they can find and follow your journey.
So you can follow me at JQSkim on Instagram, or just go to jstera.com, and that's where you find everything, including Stay Loco gear.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thanks
Appreciate
so
you,
much,
brother.
Jay.
Thank
Stay
you so
tuned.
much.
We're smart and good
Thank
with
you.
Holland.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it.
Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. I'm GMLA, the co-founder and host of EverTalk TV, and I am thrilled to introduce you to America's first live video streaming talk show network.
Hello and welcome to Hashtag.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Millennial Life. I'm your host, Laura Odegaard.
Hi and welcome to Life Master. This is CEO with Anna David and Lauren Wallet.
You are watching Passion to Paycheck.
Book a
Welcome back to On That Note.
Welcome to Defining Moments.
Welcome to my show, Serena Live.
And you're watching
How to Start.
And welcome to another episode of Sipping the Tea.
We're bringing you inspiring stories to help you upgrade your life to the best level of success, health, and wealth.
You can binge watch and binge watch.
You can binge watch.
And you can binge watch.
Binge watch. You can binge watch. Please binge watch.
You can binge watch and binge them on EverTalk TV. Thanks for coming. Entertainment that will inspire, uplift, and empower you. Anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV, your home for talk.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. I'm so excited for our next guest. She's a dating expert. I met her on the set of Access Hollywood. Moni Kelly. What's up? How are you?
Long time no see.
I know. It feels very familiar, doesn't it?
Yes, exactly. Like old times.
So I want to know these confessions of a serial dater. What's dating in LA been like for you?
Ooh, child, do you have time? So dating in LA, I always say, is different than anywhere else because LA, you have some of the most beautiful people in the world. There's an altered sense of reality because a lot of people are in the entertainment industry. And to be honest, except for Rob, I'm sure, a lot of men in LA don't know how to court. They're not old school in the sense of opening up doors and courting like some of the men in other areas of the country are, like in the South or on the East Coast. And the East Coast men are very like forward and aggressive in a great way.
Yes.
It's no shame.
No,
I'm just saying.
I'm from the East Coast, so I can appreciate that.
Yeah, so you get it. He gets it.
Yeah, I feel like there's like a confusion in this town.
There is
like
a major
They don't know if they're coming, going, what they want, what they don't want.
Well, and they're overthinking what we want. They're like, oh, I don't know if she's going to want me to pay for this, or is she going to be offended if I open the door? So how do you navigate that? Like, how do you express the way you would like to be treated on a date?
You know, first of all, my whole thing is being unapologetically you. And at a certain point, you know, when you're 35 plus or 40 plus, you shouldn't have to tell a man of a certain age, you know, how to treat a woman. But you want to give them, you know, hints. Maybe, you know, say, you know, this is really nice. I've had a great time with you, giving that encouragement so they know they're doing a good job. Or, you know, telling them that they look nice, things like that. But the bare minimum and the basics, you should not have to explain to a grown man.
Right.
Because I believe a man will do what he wants to do for a woman that he's into.
Right. And I do think that the difference of, for me anyway, being younger versus older dating is that I used to try and mold people. Now I'm like, I accept this person exactly as they are, and it's perfect, and it either works or doesn't work for me.
Exactly.
So how do you do that? How do you start going through and kind of going, okay, this is what I really want, this is a deal breaker, and how do you get clear of that, you know, in the first few days, because you don't want to waste your time or their time?
You definitely don't want to waste your time. And I always encourage women to learn how to date yourself. So if you're fresh from a breakup, I say take yourself out on a date that you would want a man to take you on. So if you want to do a beach date that's romantic, take yourself out. Take yourself out to a bar or a restaurant and start dating yourself, figuring out what you want, because if you don't know what you want, you can't possibly expect for a man to know what they want. Also, there are red flags that you see immediately. Don't make excuses for them, because a man is who he is. The late, great Dr. Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. So to your point, when I was younger, I would make excuses, like maybe it's in my head, I'm being too much.
He had a hard day.
Exactly, and you give
I'd have
so
the red
many
flag
chances.
What?
Exactly, exactly.
No, that wasn't a red flag. That had to be something else.
You know, it's like it hits you. A stop sign will fall down on the street, and you're like, no, it can't be that bad. So you know who you're dealing with. Don't make excuses. And I will say, give a guy a chance, but by date 2 or 3, if those red flags are not turning into yellow or green, keep it moving. Don't waste your pretty.
Nice.
Yeah, I love this.
Don't
So
waste your pretty.
talk
Don't
to
waste
us a
your
little bit
pretty.
about your journey to becoming a dating expert, though. I think it's
Yes, my journey is very interesting because I got married. So like a lot of women who are in their late 20s, you know, you're always the bridesmaid, never the bride, and you're like, I'm about to be 30, I need to get married. So I got married and got divorced quickly after. And after the divorce,
Celebration.
yeah, I was like, got the starter marriage out the way, unexpectedly, didn't know it was gonna be a starter marriage. And then I started dating unapologetically. I started dating where I knew exactly what I wanted. And a lot of times, the men in LA in particular were very interesting, for lack of a better word. So I saw the red flags and I kept it moving. So I started this blog called Confessions of a Serial Dater in LA. And initially I was anonymous. I didn't want people to know who I was. And I started writing these stories. And women and men, because you guys are nosy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you started inboxing me like, this is interesting, what's gonna happen next? And women felt the need, they missed that Sex and the City type of vibe. And that's what the blog gave them. And it grew from there, and eventually I was like, hello, it's me. I showed my face instead of a caricature, and it grew from there.
Yes.
And there you have it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a hot topic. I think that, you know, we know that, you know, the younger generations are not getting married as much. The marriages are actually lasting longer, which is interesting, with the younger marriages. But there's a lot more dating.
Yes.
And I think that I think we're going through a big transition. We've talked about this a lot, and getting okay with being single. It's like it's such a stigma still. Yes. Like, it doesn't mean that you're gonna be happier if you're married or not married. So we might as well embrace where we're at and get clear of who we are. Some people just aren't built for long-term relationship.
Right.
And
right.
like, so how do you manage that? How do you help somebody maybe maybe you're just not, you know, long-term dating material?
Right. That's such a good question. So I say two things. First of all, I did the legwork for you. So you don't have to do it, okay? Thank you. You know, like, I've made the mistakes, which is why I can say what I say. And also, it's so important that women and men, you're okay with wherever you are in the journey. If you're having a moment where you hate being single and it's just stressful, that's okay. We all have a moment of dating depression. It doesn't mean you're not empowered as a woman. It doesn't make you a bad person, but it just is what it is. It's okay to say, I'm enjoying this single life. I'm enjoying, I heard you earlier, doing what you want to do, doing, you know, going when you want to go, not having to ask a bunch of questions and answering a bunch of questions. That's okay too. But wherever you are in the journey, being okay with that and being comfortable with that. So when you go to those family dinners and auntie's like, you know, where's your man? Are you dating anyone? And I'm like, I'm dating everyone. You know, just being comfortable with it. You know,
yeah, totally.
Have your PR statements ready.
I love that.
Yeah, have your PR statements
I
ready.
love that. Right?
You know, one of the other complaints, and I think Erin highlighted it, was that people really don't enjoy the dating process itself. They don't enjoy the dates. What can you offer people about that? Like, what would you tell people to do if they're not enjoying dating in general? They're just not having a good time.
A lot of times when someone isn't enjoying dating in general, I think they're looking for something in someone else that they need to find in themselves. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, dating should be fun. And one of the things, I've done the legwork for you guys, that a lot of women do where they can't enjoy the date is, especially if they like a guy, especially meet a Rob, and they're like, oh, Rob, he's so fine. Yeah.
I will bet
happens every day.
We'll send you a check.
I love Rob. And then we're like, okay, we go from A to Z so quickly, and we're so worried about the outcome instead of each step by step. That's where we go wrong, and that's what I like to tell women, to enjoy the date instead of the outcome.
That is the biggest thing for women.
Oh
my gosh, I used to be one of those. It was like
Me
first
too.
date, I was like, could I marry this person?
Exactly. We always put our name with their last name, ask around.
Guilty.
What do you think of this? How does this sound to you?
Ruined everything.
Exactly, and you're like, he hasn't called. Then you start acting like the clingy, needy woman, and then the guy's like, whoa,
crazy.
That's so interesting. Because as a guy, I always did the exact opposite. Like, can I get through a whole hour with this person? I don't know.
Typical CS men for you. We're all like thinking about, oh, the features of our children. He's like, oh, this hour.
How many people is it okay to date at a time?
Good question.
That's a good question. Now let's answer that question. There's a difference between dating and there's a difference between being intimate with someone.
Big difference. This is
no judgment. Hey, if you want to be free, be free. But if dating people, I think you should date a lot of people, you know, at the same time, and may the best man win. Now, in terms of being intimate with someone, you know, there's risk involved in that. There's health risk and things like that. So I always say, if you feel that need of passion, you know, have the one person that you're having that passionate need with, and then, you know,
But that would
date others.
isn't that kind of odd? Like I'm going to be sleeping with you, and then we have an agreement. We're just going to sleep together, but we can see other people, and then I'm
Well,
on a date with another guy.
Don't men do that all the time?
I don't know.
Do you guys do that?
I'm not good. I'm not good because I don't date at all. All I do is work.
Oh, okay.
It's the
So we're gonna
only
have to
two
work
ladies
on
I
that.
see on a consistent basis ever.
He's dating you too.
I'm quite happy with it.
But if I was in an intimate relationship with someone and I found out he was taking other girls to dinner, I would be a little disheartened.
Absolutely, and I think absolutely you'd be disheartened, but if you've had the conversation up front and if that's a deal breaker for you, then that's not the right person for you and you're not in the right place to date. If you're two people who are looking for a monogamous committed relationship, that won't be an issue. If you're two people who just want to date around and see what happens and you have that conversation, then you're okay. Now, I think what a lot of times, what happens with a lot of women is you sleep with someone, not because you're doing the 90-day rule, that's, you know, whatever.
90
You know,
days.
you've heard that rule. You know, you're like,
I've never missed that email blast.
there's like this thing about doing the 90-day rule. And women will sleep with them, you know, sleep with a man too soon before they've had that conversation of, are we trying to aim for a committed relationship? Then they sleep with a man too soon, and then they start freaking out because he's changing and they don't know where the relationship is going, instead of having the conversation beforehand. So you guys have to have a conversation and know exactly what each person wants.
It sounds a bit like a control freak to say, I'm going to say 90 days, and it's almost like I'm going to control the sex so that he's got to like beg for me and tell me he loves me and have the ring before I sleep with him.
But that works for a lot of people.
I guess it sounds a little
I
bit
think
like
it's playing games.
It's playing
just,
games.
It's so silly, and it's been this whole thing about the 90-day rule.
I've never
I'm just
heard
like,
this.
someone can wait 90 days, and then on day 91. You sleep with them on 90 day, and day 91, they're like, okay, thank you for your services. Have a nice day. I waited long enough.
And then I just wasted 90 days.
90 days. I know.
I need to test drive that thing out. Just joking. Kind of.
Half joking.
That was great.
I'm joking. But I'm the same. Okay, I have dated multiple people. I've never slept with one person and then be dating other people, and I think that that's for me like where I draw the line. Like,
I agree,
feel
yeah.
like, and I think I wish I could get okay with that because then life might be a little bit easier. But I
Right.
think it's almost like you have to get clear of what works for you.
I think for some people, like if you guys were saying, you know, if you want sleeping with a bunch of different people, I advise highly against that. I believe, for me personally, I'm looking for a committed, monogamous relationship. But there are people out there who aren't, and they're okay with that.
I'm serial, you know, it could be
Especially
like
those
2
millennials.
months.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Especially millennials, they're, you know, they're doing
they're
their
totally
thing.
different things.
Yeah.
Everyone's using condoms and they're sleeping around. I'm thinking, okay,
Exactly.
that works for you.
I've got to ask though, for digital dating,
Yeah.
do you have any tips on creating a profile that would attract someone to actually want to take you on a date versus just
great
having
idea.
an online conversation?
All right, thinking about the pictures you post. What pictures are you posting? Are there pictures where you're very sexually overt? Are there pictures where you're showing, you know, your face, where you're showing yourself in your element of doing things that you love doing? Are you talking about things you actually enjoy? I like going to the beach. I like having wine. I'm looking for this. Being very clear, I am looking for a committed monogamous relationship. Or I am not looking for a committed monogamous relationship. I'm just looking to have fun.
But don't you find that almost if somebody says, I want a committed monogamous relationship, it's almost less people will reach out because it feels like a little bit too forced?
The people that you want to reach out will see that and be like, okay, good, they're looking for the same thing. Now, I'm not saying go on the first date with your wedding gown and your purse, but, you know, hey, I'm not saying that. But I feel like people need to be honest and forward with what they're looking for and what they want. And if that's what you want, you say it. You don't make it a big thing. You're not like, you know, and how many kids do you want to do the interview date? That's where a lot of people go wrong. But you just, you know, yeah, I am looking to meet someone, you know. I don't know if it's you, you know. Do you want to have kids? Yeah, I want to have kids. I don't know if I have kids with you because I don't know you, but that's something that I'm looking for down the line.
You bring up a really interesting point. Are there topics that everyone should avoid on a first date?
Absolutely. I mean, these should be basic. You hear this all the time, but you have to reiterate it. Don't talk too much about your ex. As a matter of fact, don't talk about your ex at all. Again, if you've said you're looking for a relationship, you've already said it. You don't have to go into interview mode of how many kids do you want? You know, obviously politics is a major thing. So before you go on a date, whatever your political affiliation is, you know,
Leave it at the door.
you know, like, because that's going to get you heated. Obviously, religion, that's something you don't want to go too deep into, but you do want to know if someone has the same values and, you know, figure that out, but don't make it, you know, a thing where you're quoting, you know, verses.
Okay, so we have to ask about the money thing.
Yes.
When is it appropriate to pay or not pay? What is everyone talking about out there?
So, okay. My thing is, I am old school in the sense of a man should be courting me.
You should pay for everything.
Okay, a man should be courting me. Now, after a while, I will definitely pay for a date. You should look very uncomfortable when I do it. I feel like you should be like, well, I'm really uncomfortable about this, but I will do it. Birthdays, once we're in a relationship, you know, I am known for like sneaking off from the table and going to the waiter like, here's the card, and it's not a big deal. So I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman paying for a date, but in the initial beginning of a relationship and a man is courting you and he looks at you to pay for the bill,
run.
Feeling it.
I'm not feeling that. I just, for me, I'm like, whoa, hold on 1 second, brother.
Thank you so much for sharing all this incredible dating expertise. Please tell us where everyone can find and follow you.
Oh, Confessions of a Serial Dater, NLA.com.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stay tuned. We're back tomorrow. Good morning.
Thank you so much.
You didn't close the door, left a crack open. I couldn't ignore the faint possibility of having hope in this insanity that we still could be, but we're stuck floating in between. From the unshared discipline myself to let the spark start out, shattering anything that has reflections of you.
What? 10 seconds left.
10 seconds.
That's it.
Was it?
Oh. 10
Just kidding.
seconds
That was the
left.
curveball. That was the curveball. Unintentional curveball.
Jeez, that was the rush.
You scared me.
I was like, okay. 2, 1.
Wow.
Go decide.
Okay.
Let's show it
Show the
off.
camera.
Up to you to choose the winner. Is it Annie? Is it Haley? Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning Holland. I'm so excited to welcome Kaiser to the show. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You are on fire.
True.
Right now, this girl
Just
is
the
on
hair,
fire. No. So tell us about Sweet Love.
It's my first single of this next chapter of my life. Really, it's been quite a opening of a new chapter because I've been through a lot lately, and it's really amazing to be back.
So what have you been through lately?
I was in a car crash 2 years ago, and I got a brain injury, and I didn't actually know if I would be back to music ever or back on stage again because of the nature of the injury. And then I just set a goal for myself and just said, no matter what, I'm coming back, whatever that means, and in whatever new way that means, I have to do it. And so I've just been kind of fighting my way back to the stage again, and I just did a small tour acoustic with my ukulele. So I'm not quite ready to dance yet, but I was like, no matter what, I'm just gonna come back and release music. So Sweet Love was a song I had written just before the crash, and I had really wanted to put it out. And then I had it produced in Denmark, and this is the beginning, and I have so much music coming.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How did you get through that? You know, that 2-year period. Was it the passion for the music? Was it faith? What?
Yeah, well, music has always been that thing in my life that has been, it's the way that I heal myself, or it's the way that I process my emotions and tell my story. I was a shy kid, And so I had a lot of trouble verbalizing what I wanted to say to people, but I was able to do it through music and poetry and writing. And so when I found the melody to go with my words, it started and never stopped from there. And again, getting in the crash and going through this brain injury, I needed access to the music to help me heal and to help me get through it. Although it was really hard to write music with everything going on. But again, I just took it one step at a time, put one foot in front of the other, and found my way right here to your couch.
So glad you're healed. Yeah.
Thank you.
You've had some very powerful collaborations. Can you speak to us a little bit about that and the people in your community who are really supporting you?
Well, in my community, my manager, Luva Casto, has been there from the beginning. She literally choreographed Hideaway with me on the streets of New York. We were hustling as indies. And I had to just clean the slate when I got into the injury because I knew I was coming back in a different way, and I needed people around me that understood what I was going through and were really just looking out and fighting for me. So I cleared everything. I left my label. I just literally, I think Luba's the only one left over who's been there from the beginning, and I just asked her to be my manager. And then I have all these powerful women around me. I have a record label that I just launched myself called Zebra Spirit Tribe. And it's literally just all these strong women just coming together. Our whole thing is just supporting one another, rooting for one another, celebrating one another's success always. Because I think we don't do that enough with each other. And I think women really need to come together and support each other and not point fingers. And it's just created this culture within this little community that is just powerful, and it's magnetic, and people are really attracted to us, and it's so creative, and it's spawning out into all these different things beyond the music, like wellness ventures. I have a lot of little things building right now that I'm excited, because going through the car crash, I had to learn how to heal in many ways, not just my head, but my whole body, my heart, my soul. I had to find the confidence to come back. It's really scary going through and losing yourself.
But how did that healing journey affect you as an artist?
When you almost lose your life and it hits you that you could have been gone just like that, you just wake up instantly. You just instantly know what's important, and it's the craziest thing, because it's one of the best and the worst things that could ever happen to you, because I mean, you never know if you're going to ever come back, but at the same time, you suddenly know what's important. And I've been able to take that with me every day moving forward. I really know what I value. And I realized that how important the people in my life were, my friends, my family. I also really realized how important it is the message that I'm giving out and what I am giving to the world. And my audience, coming back with music, I have this beautiful access to this river of people. Like, my music reaches people, and that's a responsibility. What I say and what I give to them is important because it affects them.
Right.
Love that. So
yeah.
your music, of course, is something that words could never express. But if you were put into words, what your primary message would be to people out there that maybe are struggling or challenged in some way, what is the one thing you would want to share or encourage them?
It is so important to love yourself. Really, and it's really hard to explain what that means, but it's really surrendering to the moment, to all the limitations that are around you, because the limitations that you have are what make you who you are. And when I got a brain injury, that was who I was then. And I had to accept that. I had to accept that I wasn't the person I was the day before. And I couldn't do the things I could do the day before. That didn't mean I couldn't do anything. That didn't mean I couldn't inspire people still. I just had to figure out what that meant. And I've realized that the limitations that you have are actually what give you strength and what give you power and give you uniqueness and create that voice for you. Because whatever is holding you back is also giving you this expanded view of something that another person can't see.
So true.
Yeah.
We have a little bite of one of your songs. Let's listen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, actually.
The bite is you.
Well then, since you handed me a microphone, I don't have my ukulele on me, but I can
put you on the spot or anything. But.
Oh, I don't mind being put on the spot, honestly. You want me to sing part of my song?
Yes, please.
Okay. First thing in the morning. Now we're breaking rules, but they ain't breaking us.
'Cause it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love. Might be cheating fools, but there's no cheating us. 'Cause it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love, it's such sweet love. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Feel that passion coming through. My goodness.
Thank you.
Would you say that when you sing and perform now, that you feel a greater, deeper passion and purpose?
Yeah, I feel more of a connection to the people that I'm singing to. Do I hold this up or?
Oh, no,
We just want to capture the fullness of your voice.
Yeah, I feel they're connecting to me more. Hideaway, when Hideaway launched it went so big so quickly. I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't even have a chance to understand why I was where I was or what my message was that I wanted to give. And I feel like I know that now. And just by simply knowing that, I feel like that energy already resonates without me even saying it. When I did this last tour, I really felt connected to my audience in a way I never had before. And the energy was just incredible. And it gave me so much hope for where I'm at and where I'm going moving forward. I'm really excited.
Where are you moving forward to?
Well, it's sort of opening my own Pandora's box. There's just so much coming out. I'm really expanding myself. I'm becoming way more vulnerable. I think sometimes when you have an image or a brand that you create for yourself, it also allows you to hide a lot of yourself and box away parts of yourself that you don't see.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. I'm like, I recognize that. But now I just want to give everybody all of me. And show them all these different sides that I was hiding away before.
Thank you so much. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow your journey.
KIESZA across all the socials. Kaiza. I'm on everything really. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I love the song.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And America's first live streaming daily talk show coming to you live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. All of today's interviews are available as a podcast on iTunes, and the whole show is streaming on EverTalk TV, available on Apple TV and Roku.
That's right. We're waking up the world together. We know some of the hardest things we ever go through become our greatest blessings. So have a divine day, enjoy your weekend, and make it happen.
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.
Thank